I just realized that I was doing a reading earlier today that came before, well, thinking about the progress. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I'm overthinking, guys. So anyways, so welcome. My name is Jose. Welcome to my channel. For those who are new, I do what I like to coin as micro-astrology. So I work with over 180 or so asteroids, and it gives me a lot of details. But this time, what's happening is I literally, not literally, sorry, I use it in Synastry. This is the first time I think I'm ever posting one on Synastry. So this person was curious about someone they haven't met. That's all I'm going to say, but it was actually very interesting because they confirmed a lot of things. And I've known this person for a while, so very cool guy. But I was kind of nervous about it because it's like, oh, Synastry, I hardly do this one. So, but I'm glad that they actually came to me about this one. So it was a good experience for me as well. So kind of exciting to watch what I want to show you guys. Plus, I looked up other things like that I did for myself, where you looked up, we use names that asteroids that are named after people, so to kind of tie in what he's looking for. And then we went into the person's galactic chart. I hardly do that, and I know that Julie Balaz is the one that's leading the new discipline. It's called galactic astrology. I'm still new to it. I've yet to actually take her course. I'm just letting you know. But just having fun with my own research with that one and what I've learned from the whole process. So I don't really do galactic astrology because I want to do my own research on it, but I do still want to take the course and I want to see what it's like to work with it. There's different ways I'm sure that she discovered that I haven't discovered myself. So that's where in the future. So, but for now, that's the reading. I hope you enjoyed. See you on the other end. It's now recording, so just to let you know. Okay, so let's see what we get here. Your first question. So let's see. Let's go through the what. So you're curious more about how, because okay. So in Synastry, what happens is there are two parts, technically three parts. One is how you affect him, and the other one is how he affects you.
Yeah.
And then there's one where it's called like midpoint charts. What happens is
Hmm.
that you kind of find your charts, so like your charts are combined, and you kind of work as like
Yeah.
one unit. So are you more curious? Do you want to start with how he influences you? I feel like that's important.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is important.
Okay. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, that's definitely important.
Okay. Let's see what I get here.
I
This is
find
a
it interesting he's Cancerian.
well, that can still work because
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see what I get here. I'm gonna share my screen just in case. Also for fun. All right. So I picked up what I could. Let's see what this one says. This one is.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, I focused on what you said. You said perfect partner kind of thing, and so I looked it up. So, see what we get here. Yeah, welcome to Synastry. This is slightly different from regular astrology. Um, so typically, what I've seen here is that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect your thing with his thing. So I'm seeing here
Okay.
that you do appreciate something. Your core beliefs are affected by when you grow up. Like you have your Uranus conjunct says here, it's not really conjunction, it's not showing here, but it is conjunct to it, to the fourth house or the nadir. And that usually signifies that with Uranus there, you like things that are very, very different. You prefer things that are very out there, very unique, revolutionary, visionary, kind of like that's part of your core beliefs, specifically relationships. Libra rules your nadir, so rules your fourth house. Even though it is intercepted, I think we talked about this before, where it feels like a sort of a disconnection from having a sort of a home environment. It's not that you don't feel at home where you're home, it's just it changes all the time. This is why you do travel,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's very varied. Yeah.
that's correct. So part of that here is though your part of your beliefs also, or rather your home environment is a lot of it is you have here retrograde core, and core is like going with the rhythm of life, and it often signifies it's a high vibration of Jupiter. So it's about a creative environment, very a
Okay.
lot of life, a lot of connection to the universe, cosmos. That's why you kind of that's what your home is like. Like you wanted your home to be like that. In fact, your environment, but it's retrograde, so there was kind of doubts about it growing up. So in turn, what happens is that I don't know, because of the evolution of an individual, their consciousness expands, etc., etc. The this thing with the retrograde core shows that there's still some sort of, um, I guess you can say, what do you call that? A rebirth process sort of thing. Like there's a lot of transformations that go on with the higher, as you go into expansion, you keep going. It's a creative impulse as part of this one. Um, creative, there's a lot of creativity that happens from within. So it also feels, I don't know, I'm seeing here the word chosen. So I feel like it feels like there's a special place that you have with the universe. Um, so, but again, with retrograde growing up, it's almost like your family kind of didn't have that. And we have here core square. What is this one here? Specifically with his, what happens here, his child, there's an asteroid called Child. It's literally anything to do with being a child, curiosity, being in the moment. Let's see here. So this is going to be kind of a heavy reading for me. Let's see here. Unconditional love, basically, right? Um, so it's square to his child, so it might be that there's a portion of his wanting to have no labels if he sees that labels, but in Aquarius and yours is in Scorpio, there might be some sort of tiny bits of challenges depending again your level of consciousness. For him it's like different, right? It's just not completely there, but it's fine. That's part of the challenge, right? Squares often represent challenges in astrology, as you may or may not know already. So it's
Yeah.
it's that whole, maybe he's curious about something, but maybe you're like, I don't know if I'm curious about it that way, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I tend to be very curious about things very differently to other people.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
I can see here though that uh, there's an asteroid here called Yarilo. It's actually based off of a Slavic mythology. He was about gratitude, growth, grace. So it will feel like when your connection with him at a more fundamental level, like it feels welcoming. It feels like there's a lot of like inner strength. I would say. I guess he kind of gives you a bit of that strength. It feels kind of, it says here, fruitful. It's there's a lot of maybe tenacity behind it. Um, it's in the sign of Scorpio already, so I don't know if you've already sensed that in him, but it kind of adds to the beliefs that you've had before growing up. When I say beliefs, I mean we're talking about
Right.
the conditioned beliefs. Okay, so um, and he might add to that. He'll also add some kind of like I guess he revitalizes that. He kind of feels like he gives you that. It's like a renaissance in your relationship. It's sort of like, oh, okay, something different. Definitely challenges are tied to that as well. Um, he might kind of trigger more of a life force within you, the Kundalini sort of effect. It might have that. Um, let's
Okay, that's
see.
interesting. Given a comment you gave me the other day.
Yeah. Um, I don't know if he's really connected to natural things and the earth and beautiful things. A very much like an agricultural sort of feel, like farmer, rustic. I don't know, but there's something there that will kind of, in a way, add to your like. Oh, interesting. That's you know. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he's
Okay.
into. Let's see here. It's in his. What is that for him?
He lives in that type of area.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. That makes sense.
It's very agricultural
Hmm.
um, part of the country.
Okay, makes
Um,
sense.
and from what he's told me, he's connected in relation to, um,
Okay. He
I'd say, Mother Earth.
okay. He might
Maybe not so much all, maybe not so much all the elements. Definitely Mother Earth.
okay. He's probably quite humanitarian. I don't know if he's there's definitely
Yeah,
something
I've sensed that of him.
okay. Yeah, so he'll
Mhm.
in your home environment, he'll feel like a good sort of like partner in terms of your interaction. Because it'll
Okay.
make you feel more like at home. He'll probably be he probably gives a lot of things like not maybe not necessarily gifts per se, but could be symbolic gifts. It could be literal gifts, material, but it feels more in a natural. It's more natural. It feels like that. He could also, I don't know, he might encourage you to dance or sing. There's something about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I just said interesting.
Oh, okay. 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 There's also Freya here in his chart. Let's see. At the same time, though, there might be moments of softening or hardening of the heart. Just saying, I'm not trying to predict anything, but it'll kind of fluctuate between your because I don't know. It is in Scorpio, so I feel like it's going to be this sort of he'll have it'll be like a flow because it's watery, right? It's going to flow
Yep.
between you and him. So one time you'll be in this energy, and then another moment he'll be this. So there'll be kind of the hot and cold coming in. Um,
Okay.
yeah, watch out for the sort of like deep angers, like anger within, like that. I mean, for him, that definitely needs some kind of whatever healing process he's going through. That's what he's going through. Um,
Okay.
I want to see where his north node is. It's in 2 degrees Aquarius. Okay, so it is challenging for his north node to work through any sort of relationships. It feels like it's there's something about that. Maybe in his past life he was kind of he didn't really trust people, or he had a lot of he was a slave probably. He's probably a woman too, or concubine, or something about that. So how that'll affect it is just it'll take time for him to really connect with you, because you're connecting up here, but on the third dimensional level, he's I don't know. I'm just saying that he'll have to go through that. So you have to work through it together, so
Okay.
that's the case. He might be your go-to person as well when it comes to so he'll be kind of like an emotional advisor, not advisor, like uh, I guess a mirror. You can
Confident.
say, yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's fine. That's right. Yeah, but there's also eroticism tied to this. So, and it's funny because Freya is. also the story about Freya is that she was accused of sleeping with her siblings or brothers. So in this case, he'll feel like a sort of like a sibling, like not sibling, but like there's a brotherly love there, but at the same time, it's kind of like, oh, it's a little incestual. Not really, but there's a kind of, because of the intimacy. It's very deep intimacy in this case. It is in Scorpio, so there might be that. He might challenge that for you. So challenges in a good way, because it is there's inter aspects happening here between his friend and your core. There's also Alcesti. So that's kind of like, I'm seeing what I can fit in an hour and a half. Um, yeah. So he'll be he's a very loyal individual. So it'll kind of make you go like, wow, okay, or it will make you feel like he's there, but sometimes he's kind of
Okay.
quiet. So he needs to. I'm seeing here. I just the thing that popped up is unconscious to conscious. So you'll have to work with him, or he's working with you when it comes to, you know, his growth in terms of his consciousness as well. Um, he's when it gets to the point where it's like very much like at home, he feels at home with you, because for you it changes, right? So, but he might want something a little bit more stable. He is actually no, his sun is in Scorpio. I'm seeing here. So let's double check here. Freya, his sun
His
is,
sun is in Scorpio.
yeah, yeah. Did I get that
Oh, it
right?
does.
Yeah, he was born November 1. Yeah, that's Scorpio. So, but in a way, that's a good thing, because that means he complements the boundaries that Taurus needs. He'll complement
Hold
that,
on one sec.
huh?
Hold on one sec. One sec.
Okay. What? What is it?
I'm just double checking something that you said.
You said November 1.
Um, yeah, let me just double check that. Yeah, I'm sure it's right, but yeah. Let me just double check. I don't
Okay.
know why I want to double check, but I want to double check.
Oh, his ascendant is Cancer.
Yeah, the 1st to the 11th. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. His ascendant is, I think it's in Cancer. Let me double check that.
Cancer is his rising sign, according to what he's told me. Scorpio is his sun sign,
Yeah.
and Aries is his moon.
So the moon rules his chart. So that means he's pretty much emotions. He's
Yeah,
his
I've,
yeah.
I've already kind of got that already.
Yeah. So he might not
Yeah,
reveal too much. So be patient with that. His
yeah. I think he's quite an open book actually, which
yeah.
surprised me.
And because his south node is in Leo, he's used to that energy of like looking. He might, if his consciousness hasn't expanded that much, he might still have the tendencies to um, want to look at his best. Lee does that.
Mm.
My boyfriend, he does that. He's like, I don't want to look. I don't want to look not my best in front of you, kind of thing. So I was just like, okay. So I was like, I don't care, just be vulnerable. It's like, so hey, he's changing. So, but yeah. So
Yeah,
if Matthew's like that,
yeah.
then yeah,
Slowly the energy will start to change because he was picking up your vibration as well. Yeah.
he's what? Sorry, what was the
So
vibration?
I said he was picking up like your vibration as well. So like your vibration and your consciousness. Do you
Yes,
see what I mean?
that's right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And then you're kind of planting those seeds when you're having conversations and stuff as well, aren't you? So,
absolutely.
but not in a bad way. Planting seeds, it's just energetically, we're kind of
Mm,
like, oh, it's growing. So, yeah, interesting.
mm. And he'll also
Mm.
he'll want things that are very cathartic. His wants and what he values. His Sun, his Venus conjunction is influencing your fourth house. So that means that your home environment where you feel like yourself. If you, because it's for you, it's more about the changes that come along with it. Because Venus rules your fourth house. Sorry, yes, Venus rules your fourth house, or rather, Eris also rules your fourth house. There might be certain challenges with that too. So if you want catharsis, so I would say um, this is where you have to work together in terms of like you're more on the earth, right? He's more on the water. Um,
Mhm.
let's see what they say here. What the elements? Nothing on the elements. Okay, nothing. Um, so it has to you have to work together in terms of what he values and what you value. So yeah, for you it's really that general feeling of like I want things to kind of you want it to be exciting, but for him maybe it's not about being too excited. It's more the emotional excitement rather than physical excitement or mental excitement. He can go into the mental. His Mercury is still in Scorpio. He has strong Mercury place. He has strong Scorpio placements. Um,
Okay,
yes,
interesting.
so he's very, very like his thought process actually influences your Gilgamesh here. Gilgamesh is so working with your strengths and weaknesses. He might challenge that. He poses that onto you. So he'll be like,
Yeah, he's
"Hey,
already started. He's already started doing that a little bit
yeah,
without her knowing.
yeah." So if he feels like he's a bit in the controlling side, you have to make sure that it's why he's coming from that point of view, like
Okay.
right. So like what is it? Your south node is in Gemini, right? So in your north node is Sagittarius. So you tend to be the kind of more flexible person here because it's Gemini, so it's super flexible. But him, it's like he's on the harder side of things. It's like he's a Leo, so
No,
it's
he's a
like
bit
that.
more rigid.
Yeah, so you have to kind of work together with that. Let's see if your south nodes actually match. Let's see. 19 degrees. What is this one? Oh, there's no connection between them. Not that I see here. No, not with major aspects in astrology. So, his your south node though is Penelope. Okay, so if you work at it, he'll be able to stick through the things that you desire in terms of like you know flexibility with knowledge, like higher knowledge, everything to do with the mind and expansion of that, all forms of consciousness, that kind of stuff that is very much like Gemini. It's very much that thing. He'll stick with he'll if you have to work on it together. It's a sextile placement
Okay.
here, so that means you have to work on it. It'll come naturally though, but you have to put effort into it together.
Okay.
Okay, so communication is might be a thing, but I know that with your okay, yeah. So 12 degree. What is this? 11 degrees Mercury. 12 degrees. Uh, yeah. So you're the more flexible one. So he's gonna have to kind of soften it a little bit with you, and you're gonna have to sort of harden it a little bit. Sorry, that sounds sexual, but but that's what it is. It's you communicate. You're more of the communicator. He's less of that. Although if we were to look at his progressed chart, I'm assuming it's already gone into Sagittarius, um, which wouldn't be surprising. Yours has probably gone into Cancer. So in a way, there's a kind of a switch of a role. You become more on maybe your Mercury. I believe it's on. I'll look at it later. But if that is the case, most likely I feel it is. Then you're kind of starting to understand the emotions, how to communicate through emotions, just as he did before, and he's learning to be a little bit more communicative and uh, taking risks with the way he communicates and expresses himself. So it's a kind of a give and take, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. He also
That's, that,
influenced.
that's,
Yeah. Um.
that sounds right.
Yeah. And his desires for catharsis can be typically exaggerated. His son most likely might have moved already into Sagittarius, so he's probably more risk taky. but his because of his Pluto in Sagittarius, his what he values and all those things we talked about, I don't know, growing up at least, or because it's in his fifth house, um, he might tend to exaggerate a lot of the stuff he says and what he values, but maybe not necessarily exaggerative, but he goes out there. That's why he connects with you on that level. So um, it's almost like you ground him and he also kind of grounds you, but he liberates you, but you also liberate him, if that makes sense. There's that sort of
Yeah, yeah.
feeling. Yeah. Okay. Um, Hold on. I'm gonna double check that. Oh, it's not in Sagittarius. Sorry, my mistake. Not exaggerate. Hold on, double second. 1 second. Freya, Cassie, Sun, Venus. Okay, so never mind. Pluto is in about 18, 17 degrees Scorpio. Yeah, never mind. So there's a lot of Scorpio placements. So not exaggerative. Sorry, the one I was looking at here at this point here is Narcissus. There's something about his what is this one? I don't know. He'll he'll feel like he might want to focus on himself at times, or kind of like it'll feel like he'll want to not connect, not in a
Okay.
relationship, not in a romantic way. It is in Sagittarius, so he might feel like I don't know. Does he talk about traveling?
Yes.
Okay, so he might if he there are times where he might want to travel, but you don't because
Okay.
it's in his own terms. It's he wants to kind of get away. He wants to do something else, right? So that's very
Yeah, I
narcissistic.
shared something. I shared something the other day with him about doing like a spiritual kind of um, journey, if you like.
Yeah,
That's that keeps coming forward. I need to go and visit certain places.
yeah.
Um, and that's how the travel side of the conversation came up, which was interesting.
Mm, there you go. So yeah, um,
Mm.
I don't see any other planets affecting here when it comes to perfect relationship. This whole thing about what did I put here? No, I didn't. Yeah. Uh, so he'll want to, based on how he influences you. Let's go back to that kind of question. You
Okay.
you want to be also realistic with relationships, right? That's your thing. It's where you have a
Yeah.
Neptune retrograde conjunct your fifth house. So if he's kind of in that mode where he's kind of out there, where he's not really grounded, he needs to support
Yeah.
that by kind of be there by supporting that you have these things about what you want in the relationship. In fact, sometimes he'll have to support you in terms of how he you do want loyalty. I believe Callisto is about similar to Penelope. Ah, okay. Callisto is rejection and ejection, introspection. So sometimes there might be your your Callisto is lesbian relationships. Uh, no. Heterophobia. So so there might be times I don't know if it's is Callisto conjunct your oh it's conjunct Narcissus here. Well your Narcissus retrograde doesn't mean that you are narcissistic. In fact, it's the opposite. You're giving. So sometimes it he'll he'll want to support your need for how do you call this I guess part of it is introspection. Um, hold on, let me double check here. Let me look at it this way. It's where we learn our unconscious about unity. Here's to blind well-being. Okay, so if he doesn't want to connect, he'll have to learn how to
Yeah.
connect with you, especially with the path that you're in. It's conjunct your north node, so is it's in your fifth house. But it's also kind of Callisto here is tied to your sixth house. So anything to do with healing, some sort of service, and all that stuff. Sometimes if he's not into that, right, you have to come to that point where I don't know if you heard of Teal Swan's like thing where she talks about the third option. Always go for the third
Yeah,
option.
yeah.
That's the key thing.
Very aware of things. So,
Yeah. So the other thing about this is that his own Gilgamesh with Uranus and Neptune here. So, well, I would say he's also very grounded when it comes to things that he wants in his life, like in terms of how he wants things to transform. It's more of a generational thing. It's his generation that wants that kind of more grounded. It's Uranus, Neptune here with Gilgamesh in Capricorn. So it's more about his career. If he wants to do that, it's in his. I believe it's in his sixth house. So, let me see how that. So there might be times where he wants to transform through doing things less more about inspiration and information. He wants something to kind of guide him. He probably a little bit more grounded. He's probably more like, I'm going to, I need something to guide me. I need some sort of tool. Whereas you carry that tools already from past lives. He probably doesn't. He's more about like, I need something tangible, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think given the little bit of conversation we've kind of had around what we're talking about there, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So he might also have limitations when it comes to like how he relates with you two. Saturn is in his sixth house, although it affects your fifth house. So that means if he's doing some kind of work and he's very committed to it, most likely he is. It's probably there's where it's like, oh, he's not really gonna connect with you, and that should be okay. You have third option, right? So,
Okay.
um,
Interesting.
yeah, because that's what you want. You want something that's still fantastic, a relationship, but grounded. You want some sort of your relationship with someone, especially if it's that any kind of you want it transcendent. You want transcendent relationship, but in very grounded transcendence. It's like where are we looking at from here? Like where are we? Right? It's very it coincides with your Taurus energy, so it's totally makes sense for him. Um, like his fifth house is very much in the Scorpio. Like he's Leo also. His sun is in the fifth house, so it means that he has Leo placement. There's a lot of pride there. So,
Okay.
and that's okay. Just that's the way he is. So you have to work with that. Sometimes he does want to look good. He wants to have fun, and through catharsis, he wants to be exciting, but in a very sort of like his own way. He wants to be in control, like literally in control. There are things he will not reveal to you, and that should be okay.
Yeah, that's always okay, but he always wants to be in control. That's a concern.
Well, he has to rise above that, right? Scorpio is very,
Mm.
very, very stubborn energy. So just like Taurus is. So, but that's where you blend
Okay.
together. You have to not only communicate through words, but also through emotions. So his job is to ground himself through his expression of himself, his emotions. I mean, let's take a look at his where's his moon? Oh, it's in Aries. Okay. It's similar to
Yes, it's an
yours.
Aries.
So it's very similar to yours. So watch out for the anger. Watch out for this any sort of thing like you might challenge each other when it comes to anger. Um, I'm not reading every single thing because we only have like about an hour left. Yeah. So it's yeah, so watch out for that. So there's things he will. Let me see. What Dwad is this in? So I never mentioned Dwads before, but Dwads is like used from Vedic astrology. So I tend to use it now because it's in Aries. So that means, hold on. Aries. This is in Leo and the Sagittarius. What degree is that in? Sorry, 1 second.
Okay.
You know what? I should just cheat. I'm gonna cheat even more.
Well, you're not cheating. You're not cheating. You're referring to your
I know. I'm just joking.
book.
No, I know. No, I'm just joking. I don't care if I cheat. I just kind of. Okay, let's see here. So let's see. Aries in about, let's say, what is that? 15, 7, 22, 25, 20. Okay. Whereas with yours, it's in. Your moon is in 13 degrees Aries. Oh, you can share both your scientific curiosity. You tend to be curious about scientific things, science, and very, like his is in, yours is a Virgo energy behind the Aries, but it's also
Okay.
Sagittarius. His is Aquarian tied to his Aries with Sagittarius. So what that means for me is like your tendency, the way you express your emotions, the way you feel things, your habits tend to, it's tied to philosophy here. It's a ninth house for you. His is in the 10th house, so his the way he sees things based on his vocation, because it's in his 10th house, is that he'll want things. He tends to behave in a very, like he likes things. His basic needs are tied to wanting things that are very different, but it affects your own ninth house. So when it comes to, let's say, travel or big business, if you were to go into a big business together, or some kind of traveling, long distance travel, or even what is this one? Sort of higher education stuff, very academic, super consciousness stuff. There's those kind of things that he'll want things he'll want things to be really, really out there, whereas you want it to be more like, let's stick to the facts. It's still both scientific, but that's where. Do you see what I mean? So, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So let's stick to the facts. Yeah, that's very me.
yeah, exactly. So there you go. So his is more like, yeah, I can stick to the facts, but what else can
Although
I?
I have the confidence to go, right, okay, yeah, that's very out there, but let's
Yeah,
stick to the fact and let's kind of stick to the facts. You're kind of out there, and
yeah,
let's create a strategy to go there. I,
yeah.
I would understand that way, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you'll shift between what he needs, what he wants, with what you need, what you want, and your forms of expression. That's the general gist of this whole thing. Um, I see
Okay.
here that his north node is in uh, it's in his seventh house. Oh, interesting. So he's here to relate with people, or be sort of like kind of be more conscious of his own shadow. Um, and there's lots of gifts that here. These things that he probably have not explored yet. Hidden gifts, talents. Um, Also, kind of forgiving himself, kind of like when it comes to wounds that cut deep, especially with the Scorpio placement. So in a way, that affects for you that with his has Corona's conjunct his North Node. It affects your third Molo in 3 degrees here. It's a Celtic god based on a Celtic deity. Let's see here. Okay. So he, in this case right here, he'll want to be in connection with you at a very transformative level. It's in Aquarius, so he wants to connect more with people. So when he connects with you, he'll see you more as like a friend, whereas he'll kind of become that sort of like let's go to the people thing. His path will be to be of service to the people and showing them that Leo energy of like I'm, you know, having being creative and being yourself and being the moment and that sort of eternal child energy, and really go
Okay.
out there. So he has direct. I don't know if he knows this, but he has direct connections to angels. So he can, at least, and it comes naturally for him. Um, let's take a look at his. Is that even? Hold on, one, two, three. I think it's conjunct his Chiron. So a lot of wounding with pride in the past. So, um, but he was also a healer in the past. So he that's where it becomes kind of like a bonus for you, right? It's your relationship
Yeah,
with
but
him.
one sec. Just need to go and wake up my sister because she's on
Oh, sure,
this.
sure, sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So yeah. So were you did you do specific healing like on a physiological level before?
I'm trying to think. No.
No? Okay, that's okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I can see here Mullo is retrograde in your chart, in your sixth house. But he might be able to help you with that in his own ways. Like he might kind of, in a way, bring that out in a certain way. I'm seeing here,
okay.
yeah, he might be kind of like, I don't know, his healing might also add to yours as well, like further. Not that you need more healing. I'm just saying we all heal continuously, right? But his thing
Yeah,
might be
he's bringing a different aspect basically to the healing.
yes,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
correct. Yeah. So there's something about
Okay.
courses, but his Cronus is let's see here. Go back to Cronus here. Okay, so he's being he's being called to his soul wants him to go into a lot of forgiveness, a lot of like he's a late bloomer as well. He'll be able to have prophetic abilities if he hasn't already. Okay. If you if he has children or adopted children, there's something about that where he's going to help children somehow. It is in his seventh house, so if he's affecting your sixth house, there's something about children that he might introduce you into. I don't know. Let's see here. There's something else that I saw. Something about animals, like messages. He's he could be more of a messenger as well. Again, late bloomer, so don't be surprised that. Well, surprises are fun too. So that's part of the process. He'll introduce you to that somehow. It's part of that. The one thing that caught my eye here is that his child is literally in almost perfect conjunction or interaspected conjunction to your psyche. That'll to me that means that he is do you call this? Um, his childlikeness, his whole connection to spirit and all that stuff, and source channeling and all that stuff, um, and awareness coincides with your psyche. Psyche is she was really a soulful lover to to Eros, the god of love. Is the Greek version, the original version before Cupid or Cupido.
Yeah.
Um, so he's kind of in a way will this is where you connect. I feel like he'll become this sort of support for you when you sometimes need sort of some sort of if you feel maybe I don't know maybe lonely or there's kind of I don't know what it is any sort of emotion that's kind of like especially with like when it comes to let's say siblings or something like that or family because that's the story of Psyche. She was manipulated by her sisters, but first they believed her and then later thought she was lying. Um, because Eros had to hide himself. He didn't want to show himself to Psyche as if as a god or something like that. So there's something about that. Uh, there's also I don't know. It's tied to the sixth house. So I feel like it is tied to service and sort of like um, service work, servitude, but it also tied to the unconscious. So you might be just be doing it unconsciously. Whatever he'll kind of in a way any unconscious behavior he might kind of bring that out and be like, oh wait a second, I didn't realize that. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. And I'm just running through this right now. I'm going to the seventh house. So for you, seventh house, your relationship with people, especially him, is you do relate to things more on a friendship level. Shadow wise, as you grew older, you probably most likely realized this that there was a part of you that didn't um, like the distance and the coldness of the environment that you were in. So as a child, you kind of shut that off and didn't want to face some of the realities there. You just wanted to be kind of more childlike. But pride was a huge thing. Um,
Okay.
so what happens when you started? I believe you started integrating that and saying, "Okay, I can deal with my own inner coldness, so to speak." You found a gift within the inner coldness, and you found a gift within just being not always from the heart, but maybe also from the mind. So when you did that, this is why you're probably most likely attracting him now, because that's what's happening, right? When we don't, what we resist persists, and people mirror that. So in this case, um, he's kind of adding fire to the flame in terms of the passion. I
Okay.
feel like it feels like it's in your seventh house. So but when I say flame, I feel it's Egeria. 1 second here.
We'll find it
Hmm?
if it goes that far.
Well,
Says we'll find it if it goes that far.
yeah, yes. He can be a source of inspiration for you. Um,
Okay.
let's see here. His Egeria. So earthly detachments. So he's about anti-system knowledge, curiosity, mysteries, secrecies. So he'll. It's showing me that his Ajiri is kind of like I don't know where his name lies in your chart. I've yet to see it here. 1 second. There's something about 1 second here. I saw something beautiful here. Divination. Is it in his eighth house? Oh, he's is he practicing medium as well, or more than that?
Not that I know of.
He can
It's
be.
very much on his spiritual path.
Okay, he can be.
Um, okay,
But but
interesting.
because it says here it's in his eighth house. Egeria is in his eighth house, and that's the house of transformation, taboo. There's also the house of death, meaning not always death itself, but like things of
Yeah, yeah.
beyond life, right? So, but
Trans-
yeah, but
Transformation.
yeah, and Egeria is about prophecies and oracles, advising, counseling, laws, rituals, ceremonies. So maybe not necessarily that. Maybe I don't know. some kind of oracle shaman, but not necessarily shaman. It's not that. I'm feeling something else. He's something to
Okay.
do with child stuff. So in that case, because it's affecting your seventh house. It's I don't know. I feel like he'll add to the relationship that way. Like he'll
Okay.
yeah. It's almost like he'll add to that. It's yeah. I don't know what it is. He'll become sort of like in a way your partner. Is it kind of obvious already? Like partner in energy, if that makes sense. um, yeah, there's something also about medical stuff here. So there's something tied to medicine with him. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
I understand that with regards to what it does for a living.
Yeah. Um, what is it that I saw here? Something popped up in my head. I totally forgot what it was. Sorry. Um, it'll come back to me. Uh, challenge something here. Twins, counterparts and twins. So I'm not saying he's your twin, but that could be also symbolic. Um, so then I'm going to go. The last house I'm going to go into is the eighth house here. So we have. We already talked about the asteroid.
Interesting, you just said twin though, because I'm not. I mean, obviously we spoke. Well, not even spoke as in like we're speaking.
Mm-hmm.
We've done not the video call or anything like that, but we've text. But there's something there that I need to follow, which is why I asked you to do the chat. And the fact that you said twin, it's interesting because not saying it's a twin flame just yet because I've not met him
I don't see.
properly,
I
and
don't see
you,
twin
but
flame.
I don't think it is. But it is interesting you mentioned that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's. We can go definitely deeper, but I mean, again, this could take hours. But I'm doing what I can
Yeah,
with that, right? So there's something about his Malo is retrograde too. Um, I don't know if he's processing a lot of healing for himself internally. That's typical of Scorpio though. But
okay.
what that will do is it's in Pisces for him. So there's some sort of spiritual healing. So it's an internal healing for him. It's in his ninth house. So that means he goes through there's a part of him that doesn't want to go into beyond, like you can say this is the ninth house, so it's a super conscious, so it's beyond conscious, right? So it's kind of an awareness that he's probably not even there yet. um he'll You will actually affect him that way. You will actually help him expand and go
Yeah,
through that.
yeah. How did you go? I got that intuitive nudge then when you said it. I thought, oh, right, okay, so I'm going to be the one that like takes them to a whole other level of consciousness.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Which, to be honest, from some of the conversations we had
yeah,
already,
yeah,
he's like, oh wow, like like the more you're kind of like talking to me about kind of like obviously because it's all quite kind of spiritual stuff that we're talking about and what have you, and obviously the other stuff.
yeah,
He's like, wow, just like your knowledge is amazing, and I'm just like, all right, okay, you know. Um,
yeah.
so we'll wait and see what happens on that scale.
Yeah,
Just like,
he's more on the not knowledge side. That's something you
mm,
provide to him, and that's okay. That's
I definitely feel with regards to him, and you kind of touched on it. He sits more in his emotional self
yeah, yeah. So
rather than the mental. Um, so yeah,
yeah,
but
totally.
there's going to be balance within it all, isn't there? So yeah,
Yeah. What I'm also
interesting.
yeah, what I'm also going to open up is I looked up his name. Let's
Okay,
see what I got here. What is this?
I don't know his full name yet. I don't need to know that.
It's okay. It's okay. What is this one? This is for your chart. So he lies. There's a lot of. I found a lot of Matthews, but I'm going with what I'm seeing here based on specifically like the ninth house. Sorry, the seventh house. I'll share with you the chart. And this is not in any way prophetic, but it does mean something because it does mean something. I did it for myself.
Oh yeah, I trust you, Jose. I mean, if you've brought this up, you're
Oh,
bringing it up for a reason.
yeah. Um, Juno is conjunct Matthew. Juno is the asteroid of. Da, 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 da. I'm not saying that's the truth, but there's something about it tied to your. Because it's in your eighth house. Sorry. But it means that when it comes to trusting each other, or you trusting him, there's something about the. It's in the spiritual level, on the energetic level. You do connect. You're very loyal energetically. There's very that connection. So he has that energy about him. He's also different
Good.
characters. He's also different
I,
aspects of you.
I,
Sorry, sorry.
I'm very much that.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, Taurians
yeah,
are literally like one of the most loyal signs.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah. He's also come from your past life, and that's where he's coming back
Interesting.
from. Yeah, he's come from your past life. Um, you did meet him through a community or a group. That's what I'm seeing here. He does enjoy talking. He does like talking. So he was also kind of a teacher as well for you. So, but it's that Gemini energy for him. So there's aspects of
Okay.
him that I'm seeing here in the chart. He has that aggressive sort of gotta control. How what he values is like he's very much in the moment with you. So there's a lot of stuff that he's tied with you. He's in between your Venus and Moon. That sounds sexual, but it's there. So it's like it's very much that curious. Like he wants to lead just as well as you do, kind of thing. You're both that kind of you have that both energy. So he has an
Oh,
aggressive side to him. Yeah. Uh, um. He's also
well, it
weird
was
because
interesting. It was interesting what he texted me the other day.
yeah.
Please edit this bit out. He just went, "Why can I not find somebody who's loyal, empathic, knows what they want, knows who they are, and wow, the sex is amazing." And I was like, right, okay. Oh,
There you go.
I just kind of like laughed it off, and I thought, I'm not saying nothing in relation to that, but I have been told I'm a good lover, so
There
um,
you go.
we
So
shall see.
yeah.
Did you say that Taurians make the best lovers?
Very sensual. Yes, absolutely. Yes, yeah. So there's a lot of things like when you work at your. I would say there's something about Matthew that he might feel like he questions his ability to flirt or to maintain. You know when couples have gone through a relationship for a long time and almost like they've lost the fire or sort of like that. He
Yeah.
might go through that. So that means you'll have to work at your relationship that way. Again, this is way
Okay.
ahead of time. Okay, this is all that kind of stuff. What else am I seeing here?
Interesting.
Mm, so there's a lot of things that he has in himself that is in conflict with himself. That's what I'm seeing with Matthew here. What else am I seeing? 0 degrees. So himself,
Okay.
yeah. So he needs his the way he wants to express himself to the world, the way he embodies life itself, like who he is in kind of conflict sometimes, or challenge. There's challenges with himself and himself, right? That's a big one, and also his career and his ego. I'm seeing it right here. He doesn't want to probably show he's that well, I'm egotistical and stuff. But so he doesn't. He hasn't. He has. I don't know if he still has. I'm not sure. With regards to a healthy ego rather than an unhealthy one. So he goes through that. So just be
Okay.
there for him. Just be
Well,
present.
I can only go from what he's told me so far, and what I've said stuff energetically of him.
Yeah.
I would say it's more. I would say it's more on the healthier side.
Ah. Okay. Yeah. He's also has kind of has had unpredictable experiences with people, particularly with work. There's something about his work. He hasn't managed to, or maybe it is. Maybe he has had stable work. It's your retrogrades. Yeah, kind of. But there's been challenges to that. He does want things that are very transformative, right? Very transmutative, if that makes sense. But he's something about his career and his what he really wants. I don't think he wants to be in like the farming stuff that much. I think he wants to be. There's something about the horses I saw earlier. There's something about horses, and I think there's something about traveling or something like that, like international, multi,
Okay.
that kind of stuff. Horses, going beyond that. We can go back to this another time for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
Interesting what I'm getting when you're mentioning that. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Uh, what else? You want to look at his fixed star chart? Quickly peep into it.
There you go. That's fine.
Okay. Well, let's see what I get here. It's like it's like peeping into his life. Oh, we can go deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah, but it's just do you know what it is?
Yeah.
To be honest, it's more the fact that I don't want to put myself out. It's not that I want to put myself out there. That's the wrong thing to say. I don't want to start something and then think, no, this is there's not even, you know, anything foundational there to kind of like even explore. So the fact that you're kind of like telling me stuff I already kind of like know intuitively is great, because I'm a bit like, okay, I can kind of put myself in a little bit more than I would normally do at this stage.
Sure. Yeah.
Up a little bit more,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
I've not been doing recently, because I'm just like, no, I'm keeping you there.
He might feel uncomfortable with if even if you tell him that you went through this, um, there's a part of him that will be like, there's some things you know about me that I don't. What? It's not comfortable for Scorpio. Okay, so obviously there's
Yeah, I wouldn't be telling them this.
okay, that's fine. It's just you have to be gentle about it too. Just
I'm
yeah,
not telling them this.
that's okay. Maybe
It's
I
just
maybe I can do
it
that
might be
for
something,
you. That's okay.
maybe something that comes up later on, but definitely not at this stage.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so there you go. Yeah. We can explore it another time too. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is he is being he's being guided by Altair. There's I don't know much about the Altairs. Let me double check here. I don't want to open up the file because I don't want for copyright reasons because this is being recorded. There's something about that. So he embodies that Procyon. Do you know about the Procyons? Canis and
Reminds
Procyon.
me.
What are the Procyons? I think they're from Centauri. I think from the Beta Centauri or something like that. The Centaur constellation. Let me hold on.
Well, that's what it says.
Sorry.
That's what it says next to it on the chart. Sorry, beta. Sorry, that.
Oh, that's with the ascendant Trine Centauri. Yes, Beta Centauri. But there's
Yeah,
something about Procyon.
it's yeah.
Yeah. Um, but he's also being supported by this energy here. I think one of his guides is from Aquila, Altair specifically, the star Altair, um, and his past life. So there's a lot of I'm not seeing conjunctions here. I'm seeing opposite. Oh, it's opposite of his sun Andromeda. Okay, so Titawan. So that means he's coming into his powers from that energy much later in life because it's very strong. Andromeda, you know Andromeda. Right? So, what else is here? Let's look at opposites too. Almac. I don't know if you know about Almac. That's also coming in Andromeda. So it's a lot of Andromeda coming. Okay, that's all. There you go. Andromeda, Andromeda. Okay. Oh, in the galactic.
It's very, very, very high vibrational 5D harp energy, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. The great attractor.
So that's
Oh.
very, very interesting
Mm.
that he's got all these placements in Andromeda, given my experience of my placements and what I know about Andromeda.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why we did see in the charts in your the synastry charts that you are there to kind of in a way pull him out of the I want to say pull him out, but kind of guide him towards a higher expansive consciousness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
super consciousness. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
What were you going to say about the great attractor then?
oh no, it's just a great attractor. So that means it's a what do you call this? A great attractor is one of the it's a black hole. So he'll come into
Ooh.
yeah, he'll come into understanding his because it's in Mars. He'll come into understanding his it's Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. So anything to do with anger, he'll explore that even more and realize that he can let that go much easily. And it'll kind of just like be like, but that's later. I don't know when that'll be. I will have to look at um, I don't know if there's this thing as I think there is in Synastry a progress Synastry chart. So it's not your birth chart; it's how you two progress together. I think there is one for that. I have to double check. I think there's one. Um, but the dominant energies is always the birth charts, always. It's just
Yeah.
yeah. So it could be that he's coming into his powers. I don't know when. Sorry, I don't. Sorry, he's not here. I can't read him.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so it's yeah, there's something about his gifts that are because it's a black hole, because it's a cluster of galaxies. What's happening is that
Mm-hmm.
it's really going to come into his life now, and I think he might realize that he was from another galaxy. Um, but
Well, I
that's
think
later.
I'd certainly bring that.
Yeah,
Certainly, I think I'd certainly kind of like bring that level of
there you
consciousness
go.
for it.
There you go. There you go. In a
Can you
past,
imagine? Can you imagine what some of the conversations are going to be like when we start talking and we're actually in
oh,
person talking to one another?
oh, I think it.
Just be like,
Oh, I think it'll blow his mind. I think he'll like it. I think he'll love it. So,
yeah.
yeah. But
We
he,
kind of touched upon it the other day via text, and he was a bit like, "Oh my god, he's like, we're going to like meet at some point, and I know I'm going to be up for hours. I'm going to be up for hours just talking to you." And I'm like,
that's
"Oh
fine.
god."
That's fine. Um, let's see here. In a past life, he was from Lyra, and do you remember Lydra? They're lions.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the lions there, conjunct Sheliak. Um, Again, I have to double check. Again, I'm still new to galactic astrology, so I'm figuring things out. It's okay. We'll go through it another time, but we're just peeping into it, taking a sneak peek. I'm seeing this right here. There's Draco. It's
Mm-hmm.
trine his Uranus. So there's a lot of because where was his Uranus? And let me double check here. His
Is it
Uranus
the fourth
was,
house?
I think it's in where is this? Sixth house.
Six.
Yeah. So what's happening here is yeah, it's there's something there because it's Draco. If he let's see, where's his Saturn? It's also Capricorn. I don't know if there's like deep-seated sort of unconscious because it's in his sixth house. Unconscious things like see, I don't know about Draco. Draco is often misconstrued for being like draconians. It's like oh my god, they're all bad, and I'm like, well, no, they just went. Most of them just went. They shifted
Well,
into constructive
it's
energy.
you know It's interesting because we had this conversation about draconians and dragon and reptilian energy last night on a circle, which you are well familiar with.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, the thing is, if you look at it as in like, we can go, all right, oh my goodness, that's the next thing. But actually, if you look at it more in a kind of like expansive way,
Mm-hmm.
look at, dragons, they're predominantly good. Yes, there was bad amongst them and all the rest of it,
Mm-hmm.
but that is draconian energy. It's reptilian.
Yeah.
So don't use these words lightly. It's
Yeah.
there's that duality of the energy.
Yes, that's right. Right. Yeah. As Bashar puts it, it's not even a duality; it's a triplicity, right? So, he,
Yeah.
yeah, with his there's Tuban there, so there's something about that energy he'll learn to face. Um,
Okay.
but again, when he comes into, I don't know much about Mirzum, Canis Major, the constellation Canis Major there, and star Mirzum. It's something to do with the dog. This is Canis, it's a
Okay.
dog. I don't know much about that, but one that caught my eye is this one. It's a trine Tuban is a draconium, so he might have to go. If he has unconscious, like you could say, voices, but or actual like messages, he's coming through like negative ones. That's where he'll transform that because it's in Uranus. It's trine is Uranus, so he's able to transform that and kind of. But of course, the choices. His journey being a Scorpio in this life means that he'll always be transforming all that energy, literally transmuting it
Yeah.
all the time, all the time, all the time. Um, Especially with his, it's a both. He has strong. He's this very strong Mars energy in him. So there's a lot of anger stuff, but he may not be aware that some of it is kind of subconscious. I don't know where his Mars is. It could be, yeah. It's his Mars is not. I think his Mars is tied to his 12th house, so that's subconscious. But I don't see any square to his Mars, not on his basic chart. Um, Hold on, 13 degrees. Ah, okay. His Mars is his it's quincunx to his Neptune and Uranus. Oh, okay. Is it Neptune? No, no, it's just Neptune. So he can transcend that, but maybe he also kind of escapes it sometimes. Like
Okay.
he might not know how to communicate his anger at times, but the way to work at it is exploring his ego. So why does he not want to explore? Why does he not express, not necessarily express anger, but more like really, it gets analytical. He gets overly analytical about his emotions. So a lot of his emotions, like especially anger,
Right.
he questions it and he's like, it's in sort of repeat, sort of like analysis. It is of the mind, but it's more like he gets very technical. I think he's one of those people that when he does something, he'll repeat it again and again and again, like through his body, and he'll go like, "Did I lock that door? Did I lock that door? I don't know. Does he have? I don't know if he's like that. Maybe there's a bit of that, or when because it's tied to his 11th house, his aspirations, things that he really wants to do. He sometimes it's tied to his work. It's tied to volunteering or servitude, but he doesn't know he's probably transcending it. He's doing it unconsciously, unless he's aware of that already. But there's something about the way he's dealing with initiative and anger. Um, I don't know if he gets into accidents. Like is he kind of clumsy a little bit?
I don't know.
Okay. Not sure. There's
Oh,
some,
that.
yeah, there's something about that. I don't know what it is. Mars retrograde
Okay.
in Gemini, and it's like, whoa. Um, when he explores that. It's tied to his second house, so there's something about again money. It's related to money. He actually has a, what is this called? A yod, a finger of God
Okay.
shape here. So that means his focus is on transcendence, but without being too. When it comes to his things that he enjoys, like money or financial freedom, and also how he goes about that, the doubts he has about that, he has to be flexible in terms of how he transcends that. He has to be careful about how he are. Is this true in my head? Is this real? Is this what's real? What's not? Um, and that he doesn't
Okay.
escape to just helping others, or he doesn't escape towards, you know, uh, into things that are unconscious behaviors, like just,
Okay.
doing things. Like he probably keeps himself busy to the point where just like, I, I think it's tied to career, but because it's in his sixth house, his health, there's something about servitude, um, success. Is he very career oriented sometimes? Do you feel like that? He wants to pursue it, but he doesn't know his. He
Well,
has.
he's quite high up in what he does,
Okay.
so I would say yes.
Okay. Yeah. His tenth house is intercepted, so he doesn't have a huge connection with his career in terms of vocation, what he wants to do. There's a sort of a
Okay.
disconnect there. That's why he kind of works hard at it, but he'll need to realize the truth and beyond that, that actually he's being called to something a lot more than that. Any wounding when it comes to security, he needs to work through that. His own body, his own self, physical, emotional, mental, psychological, energetic, spiritual, all that. He has to work through it, and
Okay.
hone the gifts of his past. He is a healer. He doesn't probably realize that. So,
Well, it's interesting you say that because he works in that field.
okay. But
So he
healing.
worked in the
Ah,
sort of healthcare medicinal side of things, which you've touched on several times.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's interesting that that's his vocation at the moment. But yes, I can already sense and feel that he's probably going to then become more like, a spiritual healer and all that and transition into that. I've already got that sense of that.
Yeah.
Because when he found out I was a quantum master, etc., he was like, wow. He was like,
Yeah.
I'm a Reiki master and I kind of want to do more in that aspect of
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he's not really doing it at the moment. And I'm like, well, you know,
Yeah.
putting yourself out there.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. So that's what I'm. That's what I got. Um.
Okay.
Yeah. And basically, what I'm also getting from the charts is he's What was I? What was that thing? Because he was not really comfortable in his home environment. There's a lot of limitations. So he wants that connection. He has very similar placements like I do and like you do as well. So I can understand the Cancer ascendant. It's he wants to be
Mm-hmm.
at home, but he has to realize that he makes his home, not the external environment. If he hasn't already
Yeah.
realized this, um,
Yeah.
let's
I
check.
think he probably that's what he shared with me because he's very much he's what he shared with me. He's like, I really, really enjoy being at home on my days off,
Mm-hmm,
doing me, being fully conscious, and
mm-hmm,
kind of like really stepping into what he wants to do, rather than kind of like this other aspect of him where it's like, right, okay, I love my job, I'm going to do my job when he's at work, but he says it really looks forward to the days off that he has so that he can actually just focus on self and his environment,
mm-hmm,
which is interesting.
mm-hmm. Yeah, his sun has progressed into Sagittarius, so a lot of his decision making is tied to um, he wants to travel, yes, but he's also wanting to have. I think he's interested in. He might be interested in having an own business, so that's where you come in. There's something about that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, his ascendant has progressed into Leo, so he's a little bit more open, not that sort of quiet, secluded, kind of person. So, and he's I totally forgot that he's born 1990. I was just like, oh, he's 10 years younger than I am. So he's still he has a lot to learn to go. His Mars has progressed into, is it retrograde? Double check that. It is still retrograde. Okay, goodness. Okay. But it is progressing 2 degrees Gemini. 1 second here. Oh, so if he is aware of it, he can work through a lot of this deep-seated pain and anger, and maybe sort of, especially with the mind, or especially with things that he really puts a lot of his energy towards into his past life. He has to go,
Okay.
I feel like he has to go into, or maybe he's being called, I don't know if he feels a pull, but when he works at it, it'll come so easily. Like he'll realize it's like his past life stuff is going to get him to where he wants to go, because he needs to acknowledge the past in order to move to the present and then in the future, right? They're not, these things are not real, I know, but when he acknowledges that, you get it. So
Right. I acknowledge the energy that's dormant that he needs to release and
yeah,
activate, etc., calibrate, and then move forward. Yeah.
that's true. Let's see if his 10th house has opened up though. Sometimes the houses, even though they are intercepted. Yep, it's opened up. Yep. Does he have any more intercepted houses? He has no intercepted houses now. So that means that his career choices and path are more available to him. He's more connected to it now than before. I'm saying.
Okay.
You'll see it in the edited video. You'll see it's like, oh, intercepted. It just means that when it's intercepted, just for you, it's. I think you know this, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, it's when you have the cusp of one house to the next there, and then the sign itself is locked in, so it's not even touching on that energy of that sign. So for example, his
Yeah.
intercepted house, it's used to be in the cusp of 10th house or midheaven is in Aries, and the cusp of the 11th house is in Gemini, so Taurus is locked in. Or no, was it, hold on, let me double check. No, Aries is locked in. So that's why that makes sense. Why his Mars ruling the Aries sign is in retrograde. That makes sense. Totally makes sense because his intercepted 10th house means like he's probably he probably didn't have a lot of initiative growing up. That he probably felt like, I don't know what to do with. I don't know if I should go for this kind of thing. So
Okay.
yeah, like that's what it is. So that's where you kind of come in, right? So in terms of business, you're more your Mars, I think, it's progressed into your 10th house now. So you put a lot of your energy into your career. So
Yeah.
yeah, his is progressed in, is still in his, I think it's in his 11th house. Is it progressed into, no, it's also in his 10th house. So you're both career oriented now. Like he's putting a lot of effort into his career vocation and what he wants to do in his life, like how to earn, like sort of again honoring the third. I think he's doing it still unconsciously, but that's fine. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, 2 minutes to. I think you got through it already. Sorry. Is that? Did you have
Yeah.
any more?
Yeah.
Did you have any more
No,
questions?
that's good enough for now, just to kind of give me a good sense of, yeah, I should see where it goes and most likely meet him.
Okay.
And
Wait, you haven't met in person?
no, not yet.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
which is why I asked you to do
oh,
what you did, because I was like, I'm
oh.
feeling the energy to meet him, but
Okay.
also a bit like, I don't want to waste time.
Well, he'll appreciate your bluntness, um, but at the same time, it's a sensitive sign. It's a sensitive energy. So be careful about how you go at it, sort of gently, but at the same time, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's both.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um. Sorry, I'm looking at his chart here. Yeah. So Richard, I took up both the names based on your Facebook profile. I'm seeing here that he is meant to. He's part of a North Node. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you quickly. Sorry, I thought I know I did say that's about it, but I wanted to show you this one.
No, it's fine. Don't care if we go a few minutes over. It's fine. The next meeting's not till 7 o'clock. It's just obviously I want to grab something to eat
Okay,
in between.
okay. So his your name appears in his chart in his seventh house. Okay, you see that? That's a
Okay.
good sign. Um,
What?
sixth. So that's a good one. Both names pop up for him in his North Node. So that means he is meant to at least meet you somehow. It's part of that. Again,
Okay.
you're from his past life. Right here. You've met each other in past lives before. As to where specifically, Leo, it's somewhere warm, somewhere deserty, maybe somewhere in Egypt. I don't know. I don't know. Could be Egypt. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's also if in your chart he showed up in your south node in Gemini, so that means somewhere if it's Leo and Gemini together, somewhere windy and warm. Okay,
Okay.
that's like I'm just generalizing right now. His your name although does appear in his sextile to Juno, so but it's something that he would have to put effort into. Okay. Um,
Well, I should think so.
um, there's sort of when he talks to you, he'll feel like he adds to the energetic vibrant vibration of Gemini into terms of like I don't know. There's something about the talking, and there's something about it's tied to Mars. There's something about that.
Okay.
He might see you. Remember that a birth chart is usually reflects how a person perceives their current incarnated life, right? That's
Yeah.
yeah. So he might perceive you as that kind of person who's I wouldn't necessarily say like in a way supportive, naturally talkative, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't see a square here. I see a trying
Okay.
to. Okay, so okay. He might see you as you understand his emotions, like his emotion, like his anger, like any sort of stuff that he wants to initiate. You kind of be there to support him. He might see you that way. He might also see you as a very Jordan is right here. Your name appears in Libra, so he feels like you even him out. If that makes sense. Making you smile. You're like, okay.
Well, he's the opposite. He's the opposite side of me, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. But there's no oppositional aspect to your sun signs. So that means that there's no direct like in terms of what you both want and what
Yeah.
your creative principles, what gives you vitality. It's not in so to say conflict, quote unquote, right? It's just right there. So there's no I don't see any issues. Especially also with the moon, your moons they're not conflict. You share there's a lot of things that you have in common, but he's also a lot in opposite. You have a lot in common, a lot not in common, which is a good thing. It's a good balance.
Yeah.
Lee and I are like that. We're quite opposite, but we're also quite the same. So it's good. Um, where else is he? Oh, he'll have to balance though. His Juno is opposite you as well here, so he'll have to work with your knowledge, with the information you have. Sometimes maybe there's a part of him that wants to know what you know, um,
Okay.
but he'll whatever he seeks for himself will be for himself, and just share that with you. Um,
Okay.
he'll definitely see you as someone who helps him expand. Also with pertaining to money. Okay, so that's again like what I said here about the money thing. Um,
Okay.
Oh, there's a yod to his sun Venus right here. Is okay. That means that whatever he works with you in terms of initiating some sort of career oriented, career related things, he'll have to focus on. He might feel it as if it's something that he values. He'll have to adjust to how you are as well. Where you are at, he'll have to adjust to that and see like, oh, I can probably see that in myself. How do I do that? But
Right.
pertaining
Okay.
directly to your relationship. So the
Okay.
yods are very strong, I think. Is there another yod to his? Oh, we already talked about that. Okay, that's about it. I think. Yeah, he's past that. Oh, he'll feel on a energetic level, subconsciously, that he feels connected to you. But there's something about the wounding that, in a way, that he might get reminded of. But get your balance it out. I know you said earlier it's like I just don't want to waste time, but at the same time, relationships are like transactions, right? So that's why
Yeah,
third option.
100%.
Yeah, just like third option. Always third option. Always, 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 right? You know, if you want it to work, then you'll make it work. And
Yeah.
yeah, not I wouldn't say compromise or sacrifice. I came up with my 10 commandments for myself, and one of them is instead of sacrifice, it's sanctifying. So if that helps.
Okay.
Good. And I think that's it. Okay. And that's good.
Awesome.
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 Yeah, good.
Thank you very
That's
much.
awesome. And I'll stop the recording here. All right, so thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for just even looking at it and viewing it. I appreciate the thing that's happening right now with my return to doing readings. It's really helping me a lot in terms of realizing that something that you liked before can be something you'll go back into. Even if you kind of lose interest in it for a while, it's something you can go back to. As Bashar puts it, your highest excitement in any given moment, or how far you can take it without any expectation whatsoever of the outcome. These are one of those things. So yeah. So anyways, thank you for watching. Glad it helped. I hope it helped. But if not, let me know. Comment down below. Like and subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. And I will see you guys later. Bye.